day 37 of my journey towards writing my first fantasy novel. I'm Father Roderick, and I've had another amazing writing day. It didn't really start very amazingly, if I may say so. I woke up and my head felt as if it was like oak, stone, whatever. It wouldn't work. I couldn't start it up. I drank like 5 cups of coffee and still nothing happened. And I realized it was time to accept that yesterday was a little bit too much. I did a live stream in the evening, and I was just super tired. If you've seen it, you may have noticed how my head was like red from exertion, and that was because I had been writing almost the entire day, and it was just a little bit too much. And so this morning, I just knew that I had to give myself some leeway. And so I gave myself the morning off. I didn't try to force myself to write, but what I did do was to make sure that I could write for the rest of the day. So I like scratched everything, scrapped everything that was in my calendar in terms of obligations, or moved it to tomorrow. Um, and so that created kind of the margin that I needed. I'm so glad that I did that, because I just basically spent the whole morning just listening to an audiobook. I'm still listening to the Fourth Wing. So it's someone else's story, and I don't know what it is, but just listening to another story, it kind of like resets my own mind. And so after lunch, I just felt like, okay, I'm back. Everything works again. I have energy. I'm going to sit down. And so I had 3 writing sessions, 2 in the afternoon. Then I made dinner, and then I had another one that I just finished. And so in total, I wrote 3,754 words. I also deleted some scenes. I did a bit of a rewrite. Nothing too serious. It was just basically like reframing a certain scene so it would work better with what I had already written. And that brings my total word count now at 6,462 words. So this is after 2 days of writing. That means that I'm perfectly on schedule. In order to get to 70,000 words at the end of this month, it means that I have to write 3,000 words. And if I'm perfectly honest, if I had been in shape this morning, I probably would have written much more. And even now, I just had to force myself to stop to record this video, and then I need to go to sleep. But in terms of ideas, in terms of focus, I could have continued for at least 3,000 more words. I'm just I don't know. I'm in the groove, and I'm really happy. I know that it won't always be like this, but when I have the energy, when the ideas start flowing, I'm here for it. So I've just finished writing chapter 2, so that makes 3 chapters in total. So the chapter 0 is the prologue that establishes the antagonist and a bit of the mystery. The first chapter is introducing us into the regular world, like the day-to-day life of this monk and this novice, this sister. But it also introduces a little bit of the mystery, and that has to do with like Ty's biggest desire. By the way, Ty, some of you asked me how do I spell that. It's Tighe. It's a pretty common Irish name that was also used in the 6th century already, as far as I know. Maybe I should double check. Anyway, so Ty's biggest dream is to join the scribes. We get to see a little bit of the scribes and the position they have within the monastery. And then chapter 2 is where I introduce, well, no, actually, no. In chapter 1, there's the first incident, and it is something dramatic, something that actually gets in the way of Ty's dream. And that so in order to join the scribes, Ty need to pass a test. That test is going to be in the afternoon, but there is an attack, there is a dragon, and Ty instinctively uses magic. And everybody's trying to cover it up, because if the abbot hears about that, Ty is certainly going to get expelled. Why? Because the people that have seen him use this magic think it is actually pagan sorcery. And that's forbidden. So anyway, Ty is protecting this stranger, and then they both wake up in the infirmary, and that's chapter 2. So chapter 2 is all about this stranger. Who is he? It is the antagonist, but we don't know that for sure. And so this antagonist is being accepted by the abbot. So he's not as injured as Ty. He gets up and he presents himself to the abbot. He even has a gift like a silver chalice because he tells the abbot, "Hey, I was sent here by my former master, who is Saint so and so, this really famous reclusive monk." And he told me to continue my studies here, and as a token of his friendship for this abbey, he wants me to give you this silver chalice. The abbot really likes gifts. He likes money. He likes, everything that is not really spiritual. And so he's very eager to welcome this interesting man into his community. And then he orders the mother abbess to purge the magic, the sorcery from his soul, because the story that this man tells the abbot is that he actually has been attacked by druids or something like that. So they've been trying to enchant him with horrible magic, etc. It's not at all what happened. But that's what he says. And so the mother abbess sends the two sisters, so Orla and Neve, to fetch some holy water from the well just outside the perimeter of the monastery, which they do, and then they're ordered to pour that water over the guy, which is another kind of awkward scene, especially for Orla, who is like really impressed by this very good-looking, handsome, strong man who also has now, taken off his upper skirt. And so the mother abbess tells the two sisters, and don't look at that guy. We don't anyway. for the sake of their souls. But of course, Orla can't stop from just looking at this guy, and there is a bit of a spark. So anyway, it's and then the Neve keeps teasing her older sister with that. And I think it's a funny scene. I really like the end result, and it shows like a really playful dynamic between these two sisters. And then of course Orla is like, no, that didn't happen, you're seeing things. And she doesn't want to acknowledge that yes, there was a spark. Anyway, for our antagonist, this is all a play. This is he sees an opportunity to maybe manipulate Orla, and that's what he needs for his goals. And then he goes back to Ty. Poor Ty is still in his bed. He is like super like crushed by the experience, doesn't really understand what happened. And then he has these visions of this bearded man, and he thinks it's Saint Patrick, but Saint Patrick is dead. But there is a family link with Saint Patrick. So Ty's parents were baptized by Patrick when Patrick was already very old, so right before he died. I think he kind of time-wise that could match, because this story takes place in the early 6th century, whereas Saint Patrick probably died right at the end of the 5th century. So yeah, could work. Anyway, but in this experience, he had a vision of Saint Patrick. Doesn't understand. That's going to be explained much later in the story. But it's an important like how do you say that? I'm planting a seed here for a kind of magic that is happening here. Anyway, so but Ty is like he hears the sound of the bells and actually I'm going to call the antagonist Felix. Felix was a Latin name. It means the happy one or the lucky one. And so he tells Ty, when Ty asks him for his name, he says, "My name is Felix." Well, that's how the abbot calls me, because I'm lucky to be alive. And new start. I'm now a novice. New name, fine with me. This, of course, is very ironic, because the order of the evil mages that he actually belongs to is called the Infelix, so the unhappy ones. It's a bit on the nose. Maybe it'll change, but I like it for now. So, but then Ty, of course, he knows, like, the bells are tolling because of the test that is going to start, and he tells Felix about the test, and yeah, that I'll have to give up on that. And then Felix says, "No, dude, I owe you something." Well, he doesn't say dude, but I owe you one. And then he performs this really creepy, awkward ritual. Felix has to, or Ty has to close his eyes, so he doesn't really see what's happening, what he's doing, but he feels something scribbling on his arm, and then he, like, his strength returns, his heart begins to beat, and he's like up on his feet before you know it. And he looks at Felix and is like, "I don't know what you did, but thank you, thank you, thank you." And then he runs outside to go and pass the test, or at least try to pass the test. That is going to happen in chapter 3. I'm going to write that tomorrow, but I'm so stoked. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching and following me on this journey, and share this with anyone who could use a little bit of enthusiasm if he or she is writing a first novel as well. I know that there are thousands of you out there. Maybe you're one of them. Let me know. Don't hesitate to plug your own work in the comments. I'd love to check it out. Some of you have already done that, so thank you for that. And of course, you can really help me by giving this video a like and leaving a comment, even if it's just a few words. But any kind of engagement is really helping me grow this channel, and that in return will involve more people on this journey. And that's why I do this. I really love to do this with you. So thank you so much, and I will talk to you tomorrow.